All right, with the presidential election less than 2 weeks away, we start with an alarming report involving Tesla CEO Elon Musk and Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Wall Street Journal reporting that Musk has been having secret conversations with Putin since late 2022. The Journal says the discussions have been confirmed by several current and former U.S., European, and Russian officials. But according to NBC, in a press briefing today, Putin's press secretary denied the Wall Street Journal report, saying Putin only had one contact with Musk before 2022. For more on this, let's bring in Bill Browder, CEO of Hermitage Capital Management. Bill was previously the largest foreign investor in Russia until 2005, when he was denied entry to the country for exposing corruption in Russian state-owned companies. And Jeff Sonnenfeld is Senior Associate Dean for Leadership Studies at Yale's School of Management, as well as a CNBC contributor. Welcome to both of you. Mr. Browder, let me begin with you. Why is it dangerous why is it dangerous for Elon Musk to be talking to, maintaining contacts with Vladimir Putin?
Well, first and foremost, these contacts took place after the war started. So we have an illegal invasion of a neighboring country by Russia, by Putin. The world has condemned it. And then you have a person who's the richest man in the world, a person who has owns a major media outlet, which is X, or Twitter, as most people call it, and a person who's potentially going to play a major role in the U.S. government going forward if Trump is the elected president, who has had secret conversations with this person who we all consider to be a dictator and a criminal. And so it's quite worrying from my standpoint,
Also, Jeff Sonnenfeld, a business person who is involved one way or another in national security ventures such as SpaceX and Starlink, both of which have national security implications here in the U.S.
Yes, it's a great risk. And of course, it's an honor to join you and Seema, of course, Tyler. But being on with Bill Browder, is I don't know anybody more courageous that we ever have on CNBC's air. And it is, I won't say it's a joy to be with him, but it's an honor to be with him on this topic. If I would add to his point, is he knows as well, if not better than almost anyone, just who Vladimir Putin is, too. That this is just not another hostile person. This is, it is not overstated to say he truly is the Adolf Hitler of the modern world. Just this week alone, we saw the amazing culmination of him at the hub of what George Bush called in 1992, the axis of evil. Is there he was sitting with all these hostile parties at both at the BRICS conference, but he's the missiles that he's getting, the rockets that are coming in from China, that he is supporting, the aviation support that he's getting, control equipment, that he's at the center bringing that in, that he has been, Putin has asked Musk to do favors for China, to not let Taiwan connect to Starlink. That's really troubling. And as you mentioned, the business angle on this, and of course, he has 10,000 North Korean troops in Russia being trained to go in to Ukraine, and he's training the Houthis and Hamas in Syria, and 6 bases that the late Ash Carter, Secretary of Defense, had warned us about, is that there is a conspiracy here. President Bush was right. And now for Musk to be dallying with that is alarming. He has a history of 22 years of working with Putin, as we know from Walter Isaacson's great book. But the intensification that Bill Browder reminds us about since the invasion is really alarming. You have national security assets in the hands of a private business person. That's what scares us. A $2 billion contract to Starlink, to SpaceX to run Starlink.